Okay, I wanted to show you some photographers so that you can get exposed to a little bit of the rich history of photography while at the same time learning how to use your digital cameras and learning how to use Photoshop. And the first photographer that we're going to look at is a photographer, and I'm not sure how much he's a fan of digital photography, but he's a great photographer nonetheless, and a traditional photographer. And his name is Elliott Erwitt, and you can see there it's spelled with two T's on Elliott and two T's on Erwitt. And I'm at his website right now, elliottterwitt.com. And I always like to, in my Photo 1 class, I always like to talk and look at Elliott Erwitt first because he has so much fun and he's done it all. He's done fashion, he's done journalism, he's traveled all over the world, he's took a lot of famous photos of famous people, but also he considers himself not really professional in his writing. I've read that he likes to take snapshots. He considers himself just a student of photography, right, and a lover of photography, and that means the quick snapshot. And he is a member of the Magnum Photographers Group. He's still active photographer, and as far as I know, and the Magnum Photographers Group was co-founded by Henry Cartier-Bresson, and Elliott Erwitt's work reminds me a lot of Cartier-Bresson's work in many ways. The journalism, and also Cartier-Bresson was always looking for that perfect moment in which you can capture what's happening, and being ready as a photographer to be ready with your camera at all times to capture that perfect moment when it appears. And Elliott Erwitt's work is a lot like that. Let's take a look at some of his images, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so he's having fun, right? So he has fun. A lot of his photographs are really humorous, and so he likes to put himself in the perfect place at the perfect time. And this is another example of it, right? So there he is, and on the streets, and he happens to see this merger happen with the dog's face merging with the person's body or overlapping, and he captures it, turns the dog and the owner into a dog person, so to speak. So he's having a good time, he's having fun, and a lot of his images are like that. Let's take a look at some more. Here's another one. One of my favorite series is his museum series, and he said in his writing that he liked to take photographs at museums because people are so preoccupied that it allowed him to take photographs of people looking at the art. And he talked about how the viewers who are looking at art oftentimes don't realize they're doing it, but they end up mimicking the artwork. And you can see that at work here with the man looking at the sculpture and then imitating the body posture. It's just hilarious and amusing. And in this case, once again, this is one of those moments where the planets have aligned, and Elliott Erwitt is there to see the relationship of the person about to get bonked by the statue. And another oddity here, he's always having fun and pointing out some contradictions. So here's a contradiction, the palm trees and Michelangelo's David, two things that usually don't go together. And here is this is a shot museum in Russia. It's actually a building, a house. I guess it's Lenin's hideout that they've turned into a museum. And so he said he's a lover of all museums, even the cold and dry ones, as well as warm and inviting ones. And his book is fantastic, Museum Watching. I recommend you go get it. Here is another relationship of people looking at art, and people looking at a statue, and the statue looking back. And also kind of the relationship, the dead body here and the statue, kind of a limp, and then the limp bag in his hand, So they're both carrying something, something sagging. In this case, it's the dead body. In this case, the groceries. And this is a pretty funny photograph. All of Monet's garden and all the people visiting Monet's garden. It looks kind of like they're trampling the flowers to me. And then here, it's hard to believe when you see a photograph like this that he didn't set this up, but that he actually ended up seeing it. So what you're seeing is the people in the museum looking at a couple of paintings on the wall. And the paintings on the wall, the women in the painting are in a reclined position, and one is clothed and the other one is nude. and you can see which one the men have decided to line up with and which one the woman has lined up with. So draped and undraped, so to speak. And then of course you have the proverbial trench coater here. Slightly hilarious. Okay, and then this is a museum in New Mexico, right? And you've got all kinds of relationships happening in this photograph. And once again, Elliott Erwitt has put himself in the perfect place at the perfect time. You've got these bombs right here, small, medium, large, and then these people lined up here, small, medium, large. And then there's the big boy bomb. That bomb is named Big Boy, and then right in front of it is another big boy. All right. And then this is a photograph of the wrapping of the Reichstag as a German government building that was wrapped and turned into a work of art by Christo, a temporary work of art that took him 30 years to complete, and fantastic cost of millions of dollars to undertake this project, to turn this politically charged building, right, important building, seat of government, and turn it into a giant work of art, sculpture. And then here's a sculpture that have, once again, the viewers and the relationship. You know he's interested in the relationship, and he says so, of the viewers to the sculpture. Well, the sculpture is this tender kiss, right, and this man and woman embrace, and then you have the viewers watching it, and you can't help but think, you know, is there some kind of tension, you know, the man over here and then the woman over here, and then flanking the sculpture and the tensions that are created by it. And then commenting about people and art and how funny people are. You know, here he is videotaping the card on the wall, kind of missing the point a little bit. And another merger, you've got the sculpture, maybe the Greek sculpture right here, and this is in Athens, and then the priest, and he's perfectly framed, just perfectly framed right between his legs. And this is a museum in, I believe it's either Alabama, and it's an Air and Space Museum, so you have these missiles here, right? These missiles, and you know, it's very phallic, very macho, you know, male-oriented painting. And then, of course, the Coca-Cola machine also standing up like a missile in the foreground. And then another comment about the frame, right? And the missing artwork, and the people have lined up in front of the missing painting. Gone for cleaning. And having some more jokes. He's always having some jokes. And this is a nice, famous image. This is related more to, a little bit more to his, it seems like his fashion work, but once again, relationships. And in this case, it's people and their pets, you know, or their pets and their people, so to speak. And this is also a good example of minimum depth of field. Notice how blurred the background is and how sharp the foreground is, just popping that forward. So he's got perfect situation of minimum depth of field, so that the background buildings and people do not bother us as we can focus in on the dog and her legs and feet. And another pets and their owners photo. And so that's that, and I'll take you back to his website, and you can see here collector's prints. You can go to the collector's prints section. He's got many fantastic photographs here. Historical photographs. You can see in this one Nixon and Khrushchev. So there he was, right on the spot, shooting the shot as Nixon and Khrushchev are arguing. And here's a shot. This one is in Wyoming. It's a famous shot of a steam train and the car on the road in Wyoming. And once again, 60s era, you know, in the placards in front of the water fountains, one says white and the other one says colored. Very famous photographs. So he's done it all, and he's been present to the world, and he's given us many great photographs. So check out his website and look at his books. He's also got his books here, and they're fantastic.